What do you think she meant by saying this?
You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
This says the Charlie Kirk assassination is getting weirder and weirder by the day, as we just got some new breaking news surrounding what happened to the suspect as he was allegedly talking to law enforcement after committing the act and wasn't apprehended or questioned here. All of this as new theories have been emerging here about what actually happened here, as it looks like his trans furry lover has gone on the run. There's multiple theories about what actually happened to him, as now Candace is saying that she's speaking to people with different angles of videos, that she's going to be releasing. Some of the stuff I think is a little too far out there for me, as other people are now sharing around this video clip and the actions of this man that somehow involve what some people are calling the detonation switch because of an alleged pager microphone from a foreign government. We'll get into that theory. We'll get into all the different theories, all the different conjecture and weird type of understandings of this, where I think it's important to discuss in a rational point of view, rather than just kind of making stuff up, speculating, and just going off the deep end, which I think, I'll be honest, some people have actually done. I'll tell you why in this particular video, as of course we have more updates surrounding this very important story that we are soon about to get an FBI detailed report on, as it looks like the investigation is over, and a lot of people are probably not going to be satisfied. We'll talk about that and a lot more all here on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these types of videos, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us. This is now we have breaking news a few minutes ago that the alleged Charlie Kirk assassin made contact with police officers near the weapon that was found on the ground here, according to now two law enforcement sources. Yes, you heard that correctly. Fox News exclusive details reveal how this assassin and his movements 6 hours after the Utah shooting are now being greatly detailed here, as there's still some very strange text messages here that absolutely raise more questions than answers. But him encountering police during the return to his crime scene, that's the interesting part here. That is, of course, brand new here, as we knew from the weird text messages with him and his trans boyfriend that's now gone missing. I still think there's potentially other accomplices here because of just the strangeness of that text messages or the obfuscation of other people's involvement here. Now, exactly who was involved, we don't know. We don't have any kind of direct proof. But now we're finding out that he made contact with police officers near where investigators recovered the alleged weapon that was wrapped in a towel. Now, allegedly, it was in the woods. Other people are saying it was in someone's backyard by a chicken coop near an abandoned building that the campus owned. Now, two law enforcement people are saying that around 6:30 p.m. on September 10th, roughly 6 hours after the bullet struck Charlie Kirk in the neck, he was, quote, now going back to the scene of the crime as officers were guarding the perimeter after authorities placed the campus on lockdown. The encounter appears to have thwarted the suspect's attempt to recover the rifle, and there was text messages highlighting how he was pissed that his grandfather's rifle would no longer be found, as the text messages do corroborate this type of story of him trying to go back and then reporting on squad cars being there, weird type of wording, no slang used at all, as some people are saying this was either kind of ChatGPT worded type of conversation where he just admitted to everything in a very kind of convenient way for law enforcement. All of this as the suspect's lover has now vanished, as the neighbors are shaken. There's new fears about what's going on, as of course there were reports of him abandoning his home. Now that could happen for multiple reasons. I think the most logical one is that obviously he's getting a lot of heat, a lot of attention. People are threatening him. People are showing up at his house, and he's like, I've got to get out of Dodge. Other explanation is that he's being held or continued to be questioned by authorities or even detained by authorities for potentially being involved here surrounding this kind of weird text message exchange that a lot of people are kind of questioning the validity of, as a lot of people are saying it could have been the feds that engineered this, or it could have been this guy who engineered this. So I think either two of those explanations are probable, but we're going to find out when the FBI releases their official report. Hopefully there's going to be an autopsy. All of this as now Candace Owens is coming out saying that she spoke to a person who recorded a different, quote, shooter, but she's trying to verify all of this. Says he recorded the shooter on the, quote, Lucy building, and the shooter was allegedly wearing tactical gear and face mask. Again, she's trying to get allegedly verified. We have to be super careful because there's so much fake news out there. This looks like this is one portion of the video here. I'm just going to play a portion of this.
Tried to track down the origin of a video that actually no press has been done on. It was the video of I assumed it was a student, and I think, we shouldn't make assumptions, who recorded the shooter on the roof. Remember? That started going viral. You remember the footage, and they're like, and there's a guy that's kind of speaking in the background. We can show you that footage right now. Let's take a look at that footage that we're referring to.
Get right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying.
Huh.
He just ran from over, where's my finger? Well, from over there, ran in, and now he's right there. Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little weird there. As of course, again, we don't have an up-close picture. It's low resolution. If you're ever at a big public speaking event, at a leftist or a right wing or a liberal one, and you see weird, sketchy behavior, report it right away, please. Like, that could have prevented such tremendous amount of tragedy that, of course, happened here. Now, there's other theories out there about Polish MK Ultra Beehive secret society. We'll get into this one. And we'll get into this kind of other crazy video footage as well. Before we do, we wanted to remind you to sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. You just click the link down in the description below. You come here, whatever you could afford. 20 cents a day means the world to us. $8 a month, one Starbucks up you drink a day. And we're going to be doing, not in real life, but online events where it's just going to be no one else. Just us and the members. Now, you could already communicate with me directly. I was communicating with the people. Some people had some questions about creatine that are members, and I was answering those questions in the chat right now. I'm going to be answering more questions, talking to you guys. I read all the chats, by the way, that you guys send. To be a part of that chat room, you got to sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. We greatly appreciate all the people that are signing up, all the people that are a part of this independent media organization and allow us to exist. We do not exist if it's not for you. We don't have corporate sponsors. We do not have big donors. We do not have individuals coming in and be like, hey, here's the money. Now you're going to believe this. And I'm like, that's just not going to work, okay? We had offers throughout the many years that we've been operating, like, here, let me give you, and I'm like, get out of here. Like, I'm not changing my tune for anybody. And we pissed off everyone. We pissed off a lot of people on the left. We pissed off a lot of people on the right. And guess what? We'll continue to piss off more people. Why? Because we're sponsored by you. 3 master classes, you get another forum, you get t-shirts, but most importantly, I think the Telegram channel is the most awesome part of it. And now we're going to be doing online events just for members. So sign up for that. A lot of offers of value. 13 plus years of exclusive videos centered around helping you with exercise, sleep. There's even a couple like yoga videos in there that I personally did, stretching videos, working out videos, you name it, all about bettering yourself, all through LukeUnfiltered.com. Check it out right now. Sign up, and I will see you there right after this particular broadcast. Now, there's a couple other things brought up about underground communist death cults around bees that I think are very kind of loose extrapolations that I'm just not convinced of, right? And this is where you kind of be like, okay, some people are saying she's lost her mind. The whole tunnel stuff, I wouldn't go as far as to talk about, and again, she was just being hypothetical, and a lot of people are just playing those clips out of context. You watch the full video. I like Candace. Listen, I really like her. I think she's great. Some of the things she says I disagree with, and I wouldn't go as far as she has, personally. Now, she has released some other stuff, specifically with the shooter at the Dairy Queen, which was very weird, changing back into some of the clothes that he took part the action in. I think that was very weird as well. Lots of weird stuff, and it's going to be very difficult for the FBI to appease everyone. Now, this video is going viral, and it's showing, look at this guy, and it blurred out all the stuff. Don't worry, I'm not going to show any of the gory stuff. There's other like content creators that just keep playing the gory stuff over and over again. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to listen to this. I don't want to be like, I don't want to see that. All right, and I'm not ever going to play that for you guys. All right, 'cause I'm just kind of sick of seeing it. Right. Luckily, everything's blurred here, and they're like, look at this guy. So this looks like a security guard that was there, right? And he kind of leaps into action, and he kind of jumps over the table, and they say, oh, there was something that was handed during this particular kind of moment. It looks like this video is also being taken down now, literally taken down in the making of this particular video. Now, is this video proof of something? I don't think it is. But there's other people that do think there's something to a security guard jumping, because like, okay, whatever, question everybody, right? Anybody involved here? What happened? What'd you do? I want the FBI to report on it. I want FBI to interview everyone. I want everybody to release it to public. I'm with that. But to extrapolate and say, that was a detonation device. They handed off the detonation device. Really? It was a guy that was standing next to him, and they detonated. And I'm like, you have no proof of this at all, except conjecture, and except you just literally making it up in your own mind. All right? And you're selling it like that's 100% proof. This is where you muddy the waters. This is where there are legitimate questions that do deserve to be asked. But now, whether through just insane people or government agents, you are now dealing with, oh crap, these people are crazy. These people are insane. I shouldn't question this because I don't want to be lumped in with these crazy, insane people. That's the turd in the punch bowl type of analogy here that I believe is happening now. Are any and all questions kind of legitimate? Yeah, but there's some kookier and crazier than others, especially when you come from an authoritative source and kind of way where it's like, I know exactly who did it. It's this foreign country. It's the Chinese. It's the Ukrainians. It's the Jays. I know it. Provide us proof if you're going to be making your argument, all right? Because a lot of this is just literally conjecture. Literally, people are like, oh, I want it to be true, so it's true. I live in a... And again, if you listen to this show... I've been doing this for like 20 years, okay? I always come from a perspective of do your own homework, do your own research, try to use your own head to think of the conclusions here. When I'm extrapolating, when I am going off tangents that are theoretical, I tell you, this is just what I believe based off no evidence at all. And I tell you that when I do that. Other people don't. This is, I just don't buy this. This is Stu Peters. This is what he had to say about this.
The palm gun guy in the brown shirt, that shadowy looking guy with the sunglasses.
Palm guy. So he had a cell phone palm. They took the shots that way. And I'm like, come on. Okay, that's ridiculous. All right. That to me is just absolutely ridiculous. Now listen, we're living in a crazy world where anything and everything could be possible. But to say guys flinching because there's shots going off is like, he took the shot, palm gun guy. And I'm like, okay, that's a ridiculous theory, all right? You're automatically kind of debunked on that. Second, now you're like, it was a detonation device. Really? You think the guy, like highest level intelligence is like, okay, I got this, guys. We're going to figure this out, all right? We are going to put an explosive charge right here, right? And then we're going to have the detonated device right in front so everyone could see. And we're going to do it right in front of everybody. What?
Yeah, he pushes the detonator. Clear as day.
What detonator? Where's the detonator? What are you talking about?
Gang violence. Great.
I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
That's the assassin.
Yeah.
That's the guy that pushes the...
And then he plays some of the gory videos. I'm not going to play some of the gory videos. He's the assassin. I'm like, why are you saying that in like an authoritative way? Here's more of the clip because he plays some of the gory stuff. I don't want to play it.
Detonator, which perfectly aligns with the explosion that pushes that projectile through Charlie's right side of his neck and out the left side, creating the exit wound.
Yeah, and then he's like, then this guy handed it off to him. And it's an Israeli pager like thing that's the microphone. You would think his sound crew would understand that, like, hey, this one's not working. It's filled with explosives. right? Hey, this little tiny microphone, like this little tiny mic. Yeah, we just put an explosive charge in and we put it on him, and I'm like, come on, man. Now, it just a little bit ridiculous for even me. Now, again, there's a lot of other people are saying, look at these frames. It's all these guys in the background. Look, it's this guy with the phone. And then what they say is that this footage, specifically with the guy jumping off of the thing, we're not going to play it because it's not blurred. That right there was the handoff. They handed it off, and I'm like, what? I don't get it.
That might just look like the chaos that you would expect after someone was publicly executed in broad daylight in front of
it's chaos.
3,000 people. But in no way did that trigger man, that assassin in the brown shirt with the sunglasses, act alone. We have video now from Destiny that shows the handoff of this remote detonator.
Okay, so magically there's a detonator here, right? And it's like, now let's make sure instead of getting away, we're gonna, as soon as the cameras are on, we're gonna hand it off. We're gonna pass it off. Now, what did he put in his pockets? I don't know. In this situation, he could have been the driver. I don't know. Let's interview him. Let's get the information. I get it. Fine. You have all these questions. Fine. Let's ask all these questions. Fine. Okay. All right. Sure. Again, now, a lot of other people were talking about the magic bullet theory. I saw another video clip that highlights what happens with a 30-06 based on like all these like gelatin kind of dummies. And listen, that's a huge caliber bullet. I'm starting to rethink the kind of initial explanation. And again, I said I don't know what to think about this explanation. I guess it sounds sort of probable, but I'm not a ballistics expert. Bullets act in weird ways. There are stories of guys getting, shot in the head and it kind of wraps around their head and explodes in the back without breaking through their skulls. There's other, and there's a kind of big caliber rounds. And then there's smaller caliber rounds that like literally burrow into a hole into the human skull and then have everything just explode everywhere. I did see it, a 30-06 is extremely powerful, extremely big bullet. I want to know what grain. I want to know distance. I want simulations of those shots. Because from all the other tests, it's a major bullet. Now, the official story went into his neck, hit his vertebrae, went, and then the bullet kind of traversed in his body internally, which bullets sometimes do, but from that type of big caliber, I mean, there's usually major kind of like, usually sometimes there's, and again, this is the weird stuff about bullets. Sometimes they go in and out, right? Sometimes there's like huge explosions. And what do you get? I don't know. It depends sometimes. Sometimes a bullet gets shot and comes out another end that you didn't expect it to come out because that's just how bullets work sometimes. Is that the strongest evidence? No. Is it smart to say he was so strong and therefore I don't think that's smart. That only adds credit to a lot of the people asking a lot of this stuff. There's a fine line that you got to kind of walk here, right? Where fine, investigate everything. But when you're asking questions, you got to say you're asking questions. You can't say 100%, 100%, it was this foreign country, 100%, that's the guy, that's the poor security guard now that's going to get doxxed, that's going to have people call him, they're going to have people show up at his house, that's going to have people, that's him, he did it. No, you don't do that. That's not smart. Taylor Hansen responded by this saying, holy ish, this is the dumbest one I've seen yet. Record-breaking levels of Riri are being met before my eyes here. Now, a lot of people are like, his name, we already know his name. And I'm like, and again, I don't want to play any of the gory stuff. Some of the stuff is just a little bit too wild for the personal taking, to be quite honest with you. Now, should we stop asking questions? No. I think there's more room than ever. But I've saw this, especially during my early 9/11 truth days, where there was family members, rescue workers, survivors that I met, that I was interviewing, organizing, having them speak, setting them up with loose change interviews, setting them up with Alex Jones, setting them up with press conferences and doing all this stuff. And they were like, man, it's crazy because everyone thinks we're just crazy people, because there was crazy people that came on in and said, oh, we know exactly who did it and all this. And we have all this. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, you don't. And it's important to be intellectually honest. Now, are you going to call me a shill because of this video? If you are, let me know why down in the comment section below. Do you think I'm right? If you think I am, share this video. Listen, how just untrustworthy the government is, all questions are worthy. Sure. But there's the difference between questions and declarative statements. Ask all the questions you want, and I think we need all the questions, and the government needs to answer them no matter how absurd. But be careful when it comes to coming from people who are like, I know exactly what it is. And if you want to know the real truth, you gotta go to my paywall. And I'm like, I just don't like that as well. That's my 2 cents. That's my own personal gripe here. Do I have questions? Yes. I hope they get answered. They probably won't. But let's get all the information we can, and that still shouldn't stop people trying to get as much information out there to the general public. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys subscribing and clicking the notification button, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/weare.